You know what's most interesting about today's video? Chimpanzees rarely fight with other primates. But today we're going to witness the beginning of a war, or at least its trigger. Grab a coffee and let's get started. It's November 15th, 2025 in Gabon, on the west coast of Central Africa. The country is home to vast natural parks. In one of them, a group of 27 chimpanzees was seen attacking. Oh, and before I forget, here's a subtle reminder to leave a like if you tend to skip parts of videos. These chimpanzees attacked a group of 5 western lowland gorillas, including 3 adult females and a baby, led by a silverback male. Keep in mind, adult male gorillas can stand up to 6 feet tall, 1.83 meters, and weigh as much as 500 pounds, 227 kilograms. But even his massive size wasn't enough. The male tried to defend his group by facing the chimpanzees head-on. He threw some of the attackers and even injured 3 of them. Still, in the end, the male gorilla was defeated. The chimpanzees seized the baby gorilla and beat it to death. After 52 minutes of fighting, the gorillas retreated, leaving the infant's body behind. Later that same year, in December, the chimpanzees attacked gorillas again, killing another baby. What you're seeing on screen is footage from the attack, captured by researchers. It's hard to make out much detail, since these primates live deep in the forest, and it's dangerous to get close just to capture some National Geographic-style shots. These animals are already mid-battle, and humans would be wise to stay far away. During the second attack, the fight lasted even longer, 79 minutes. We don't know if it was the same group of chimpanzees involved both times, or 2 different but equally aggressive groups. But either way, the question remains: why? Why did this happen? What triggered these attacks? After all, chimpanzees and gorillas usually coexist peacefully in overlapping habitats, tropical forests of Central Africa. They typically avoid each other, even feeding on fruit from the same trees without conflict. But chimpanzees are known to be highly territorial, especially toward other chimps. And during the first attack, the group was just returning from a patrol. Maybe the competition for food was the trigger. So what would a real war between chimpanzees and gorillas look like? In the encounter I described, the chimpanzees clearly had the upper hand. They had just been patrolling, meaning they were aggressive and battle-ready. They outnumbered the gorillas, and they initiated the attack. If this had never happened before, the gorillas were likely caught off guard. Anyone would be surprised if their neighbor attacked them right after exchanging polite greetings. But in an all-out war, the chimpanzees might not always have the advantage. Let's examine the opponents. Chimpanzees stand between 3 and 4 feet tall, 90 centimeters to 1.27 meters when upright. Adult males can weigh up to 155 pounds, 70 kilograms. Females about 110 pounds, 50 kilograms. They live in much of Africa's tropical jungle, and they eat plants, fruit, and insects. But unlike their peaceful cousins, chimpanzees are aggressive and often violent. I'm not exaggerating. Violence is common among chimpanzees, suggesting they are inherently prone to kill. This aggression is usually directed at their own kind, but that may be changing. Up to now, chimpanzees didn't attack gorillas, but there's a first time for everything, especially when animals can't control their violent impulses. Despite being smaller than gorillas, chimpanzees are incredibly strong. In attacks on humans, victims have had fingers ripped off, and in some cases, parts of the face or other essential body parts. Chimpanzees can hit hard, but often they don't need to. Why bother when they can just grab a part of the body and rip it off? They are not only aggressive and cruel, but also capable of warfare tactics. In fact, warfare between chimpanzee groups has caused dozens of deaths. Among non-human mammals, intra-group hostility is fairly common. But male-to-male fights usually aim to drive rivals away, not to kill. Chimpanzees are the terrifying exception. People say cruelty is a human trait and that animals can't be that brutal. I'd say those people have never seen a chimpanzee war. Due to YouTube rules, I can't go into detail about what the researchers witnessed. It's too graphic. Let's just say one primatologist had nightmares after studying chimp warfare. She's not alone. Many researchers were shocked, initially thinking such behavior was caused by human influence. But it wasn't. Sometimes lethal brutality is a winning strategy. And in that light, the attacks on gorillas aren't surprising. And yes, chimpanzees will attack again. They don't just attack randomly, though. They use actual military tactics. This level of strategic decision-making was once thought unique to humans. Western chimpanzee groups, for example, climbed a higher ground to scout out rival groups. From there, they decide whether to initiate a fight over contested territory. Being on higher ground gives them an advantage, something humans have known since ancient times. Apparently, so do chimpanzees. They also understand stealth mode. Normally, chimpanzees are very loud. Their screeches can give you a headache. But when they're going to war, they're silent. They know making noise in enemy territory is a terrible idea, so they move quietly and discreetly. Once they've observed the area from above, a chimpanzee patrol moves in, stopping frequently to scan for enemies. If they find them, and the numbers are in their favor, they attack. If not, they retreat immediately and act like nothing happened. But chimpanzees don't just sneak around. They also make and use tools to hunt mammals. Seriously, not just to gather fruit or crack nuts. Chimpanzees hunt. They sharpen branches with their teeth to make primitive spears. Then they use these weapons to hunt galagos, small primates that resemble lemurs. What's fascinating is how they use these tools. They stab the spears into tree holes where galagos sleep, sometimes with enough force to injure or kill. Researchers hesitate to call them actual spears. They're more like clubs, and the sharpened end makes them more effective. But still, it shows that chimpanzees understand the concept of weapons, which gives them a serious edge in any future conflicts with gorillas. So, how will gorillas respond? Gorillas are the largest primates, but they're called gentle giants for a reason. They live in small family groups, and as I mentioned earlier, males can reach 6 feet tall and 500 pounds. Females are, of course, smaller. Gorillas are up to 1.5 to 2 times stronger than humans. But thankfully, they're much more peaceful than chimpanzees. They fight only to defend themselves. Within gorilla groups, fighting is rare. Males may spar over females, but injuries are uncommon. It's more about dominance than aggression. Gorillas are confident in their strength, so they don't need to prove it. Some gorilla species do kill each other, but western lowland gorillas generally do not. Eastern lowland gorillas are another story. When gorillas do fight, it usually involves brief skirmishes. They bicker, then go back to their usual business. They're not aggressive without reason. We haven't found much evidence of gorillas using tactics or making weapons. They simply don't like to fight.